Realllllllly. So I've just done a quick facial, well, mini home facial treatment, and I thought that I'd do a little makeup video as well. As many of you know, I don't tend to wear much makeup. I used to years ago, but I can't really be bothered. And like the new makeup trends at the moment, they're very heavy and they're not for me. They look amazing on everyone else, but I'd literally look like a drag queen. So I tend to keep it quite minimal really, although some of my friends would say that I wear a lot of makeup, so maybe I'm middle of the road. But I just wanted to talk you through what I do when I put makeup on for like a normal day, so a normal day at work. Who am I kidding? Even if I'm going out, this is about it. So I tend to start off with an e.l.f. Beauty Shield. Now this has got an SPF of 50 in it. I am a little bit super duper conscious of protecting my skin, so whenever the sun's out, although I love to absorb a little bit of sun for your vitamin D, I am worried about burning. I've had lots of close family members who have suffered from skin cancers and things, and I just think, oh, it's not really worth the risk, especially when we've got such good fake tans out there now. So I pop a teeny little bit of this on. I use the back of my hand for everything. It's literally, it is my palette. Even if I have a palette, I forget I've got a palette and I use my hand. But that's okay, hand's reusable, so that's always good. I use a Zamira kabuki brush. This is a natural, vegan, cruelty-free, obviously, brush. It's lots and lots of tiny micro fibres packed in, which are really, really soft, like it feels like velvet. It's lovely. So what I do is I kind of absorb the product into there. And I'm gonna try and do my makeup in my camera. Let's see how that goes. And just press it around the skin. But this one's quite nice because it's got a little bit of a tint in it. So I haven't got any makeup on my skin at the moment. So I said I've just done a mini facial video. I have got a little bit of eyeliner on and the teeniest little slick of mascara. Just because, as I said previously, I look like a baby pig, if not. So I'm just pushing this into my skin. You can use this brush in different ways. You can sweep it on for a lighter finish. I tend to do that on my forehead. Sweeps, sweep to my nose. But areas that I want a little bit more coverage, I tend to dab and push in. My eyebrows are also horrific. I haven't waxed them in over a month. Maybe that'll be my next video, but they are so grown. That's okay though. Channeling my inner cave girl at the moment. Fab. So that's my little bit of primer going on. That's an SPF. Although it says it's 50 SPF, I think you need to use a lot more than I just did for it to actually be a full 50. But I've put it on, I'm not going out anywhere today, so it's not too bad anyway. Next up, I'm going to be using the Revolution Conceal and Define Foundation. This is my favourite foundation at the moment. Of course, it's cruelty-free and vegan. I hate it when the labels are still on, get rid of that. And this one is in colour F4. I don't know if this is a little bit light to me. I think in the summer I'll go for a little bit darker one, but it's such a reasonable price. I think this was like £12, whereas years ago I used to use double wear and things, which are now I think they're about £30, and they test on animals. So nope, not using those. So this one comes with a nice applicator. So I just tend to dab it on the areas I need it the most. So I do tend to get a few bags into my eyes. And that is literally all of the foundation that I'll wear. Using the same brush, dab it in on the areas that I want a bit more full coverage. It feels so weird, I haven't worn makeup in so long. I look more alive though. So making sure you get right into the crease of the nose. Underneath as well. Just dragging that down to the neck slightly. Does everyone else pull funny faces when they do their makeup? And forehead, I just tend to sweep that a little bit because I don't want it as heavy on there. Really weird doing my makeup in a camera. I've got a mirror down by here as well, so just have a double check. Give you a close-up of those brows. Here we. I also take a little bit onto my ears as well. For some reason my ears go quite red. Just chill those out a little bit. Just make sure you wipe it off your piercings after, otherwise they look a bit yucky. Okay, so that's my foundation. After I've done that, I tend to use a little bit of contour blush all in one. This is my favourite palette in the whole world. I've used my favourite shade. It's a bit emotional, but I'm determined to use it all before I buy a new one. I'm really working on using up all of my makeup. I've got so much, it's ridiculous. I've given loads away. I left loads in college when I was in there teaching. So I'm just working my way through everything before I buy any new. It's quite hard, but I've got loads of makeup I didn't even realise or I forgot I had. So, you know, it's good to use all those up as well. So this is a Revolution palette, again, cruelty free. It's got your contour powders at the top, it's got highlighter, bronzer, blusher. It's literally everything in one palette. There's something for every single skin tone in here. I've also convinced my friends to buy this as well, and they all love it as well. So this is my little contour brush. You see it's got a bit of an angle going on. I love this brush, it's fab for kind of getting in underneath your cheekbones, side of the nose, underneath that kind of jawline. It's just nice and nifty, really. I got a slightly bigger one as well, but I prefer this for a blush rather than contour. So I'm going to go in with my favourite shade, the Remnants of Emotional. So tap off, always do a little tap off, because if you go in with too much, basically you have to start again, which is a nightmare. So I tend to just go underneath my cheekbones slightly. Now I don't like anything too drastic, so I can see where I've got a bit of a contour there anyway naturally. So I'm just kind of extending that really. Take it up into the temples as well. Take more product if you need. And just build it up nice and slow. I look a lot whiter in there than I do in my mirror. I'm so not a pro at this, ladies. Fun though. So I'm taking that up onto my forehead as well. And I do everything quite light because I don't like when people look, me personally, I don't like when there's like a halo of really, really dark and then these white eyes on me. Looks awful on me. I look like that guy from the Rocky Horror Show. What's his name? Frankfurter, something like that. I look like him. So it's not for me. And then underneath my jaw, just to kind of sharpen that up a little bit. Try and blur out that double chin. Sides of the nose a bit, underneath that lip. And then always kind of step back and assess, have a little look. That'll do, it's quite natural. That's what I'm going for. So next I'm going to go in with a little bit of blush. Now I'm going to use the darker contour powder with a little bit of this pinky, orangey, peachy shade. They did have the shades on the back, but I've used this, so this has been to Glastonbury with me. This has been on holiday, everywhere. It's well travelled. So I don't tend to do apples of the cheek because I feel a little bit like Coco the Clown when I do that. So what I tend to do is like a C shape around the eye, just to frame the face. If you bring that C shape too far in, what you do is you close the eye area up. So you want to kind of frame the eye and make that a bit of a feature. So again, just a little bit of product and build it up. So that is the shape I'm going for. I was just laughing to myself then because I was thinking of Mike Tyson's tattoo. that kind of shape, but not that look. And then the same on the other side. Okay, I'm looking a little bit white on here, so I will bring it in a little bit more. Okay, that'll do for now. Sometimes I'll go back after and kind of put a bit more at the end to pull it all together. Next, I'm going to go for a teeny bit of eyeshadow. I used to go crazy with eyeshadows when I was younger. I'd have like fluorescent green, I'd have purple with like green glitter eyeliner, done it all. Now I'm all about the neutral life. Also my hoods are starting to sag, which is very sad. They're okay, but they're not as good. Like I used to be able to apply eyeshadow so easily, whereas now it's a bit more work. So, Naked Palette, Heat, Urban Decay. Urban Decay do not test on animals, yay. So these are kind of like neutrally warm shades, really, really pretty. And I'm just gonna use the second one in. So this one's Chaser. And I'm gonna use this as kind of transition colour, a colour to go over the whole of the lid. And I'm using a big fluffy brush. This is Real Techniques, this one. Quite nice because it literally covers the whole of the movable eyelid in one sweep. So this just gives a little bit of contour to the eye area. Sorry, I need to keep checking this mirror because it's weird in the camera. Now, if I was going out for an evening, I would have used a nice eyeshadow base to make it a little bit more long lasting, a little bit more kind of noticeable, a bit more of a contrast, but I don't really want that today. I just want it to be nice and light. Nothing too crazy. I'm not going anywhere, we're on lockdown. So, then I'm going to go in with a slightly darker colour. So this one here is called Low Blow. I don't think I've actually used that one, so we'll give that one a go. So slightly fluffier brush now. I'm just going into that contour area. Wowzers. We'll buff that down in a second. Now this is where it looks messy. We go in and clean it up in a second. This is usually where Kai comes in and goes, "What are you doing?" My face. Nice fluffy brush now. I'm just going to go into the mirror to do this so I can see. I'm just blending out that line. And literally just sweeping back and forth. Doesn't help when you've got very overgrown eyebrows. But like I said, it's just a nice natural day look. Nothing too crazy. There we are. So that's basically what I'm going for, just a little bit of contour behind the eyelashes. So a nice neutral colour over all of the base, and then just a little bit of a darker colour into the contour, so into the crease, and then meeting back down onto the lash line, a little bit like a V shape. If I was going out in the evening, I'd probably choose a bit more of a defined shade, and like I said, I'd always put an eyeshadow primer on as well, which really makes it pop and stand out. So next, eyeliner. Now I do love eyeliner. So what I tend to do is I go, that looks freaky, so I go underneath lash line, bit of a crease there, just dab that out, it's cool. And I also go up into my waterline. And the bottom waterline as well. So make sure that your pencils are nice and fresh by sharpening them in between use. Makes them easier to use, but it also gets rid of any bacteria or any contamination. So what I tend to do here, I don't like anything kind of too structured, too harsh. I like quite soft, blended, natural looking makeup. So I tend to use an eyebrow palette now, which is an eyebrow powder. Teeny little brush, just dab that in, and I go on top. I keep going cockeyed, it's really funny, of what I've just applied. And then just kind of smudge that out a little, just so it's a bit more smoky. A little bit of fallout by here, so just going to whip him off. I'm just going to dab underneath my eyes just to make sure there's no creasing going on. If there is, you can put a little bit of translucent powder. But like I said, I'm trying to keep it a bit more natural on my skin at the moment, give it a bit of a break while I can. A bit of an accent then, while I can. Then mascara. Now this is a Primark one actually, which apparently is cruelty free. However, I'm going to look into this a bit further because for them to do cruelty free makeup doesn't really make sense if they use child labour. So when I said I'm using all my makeup up from, you know, what I've already bought previously, this is one of them. Primark is not my favourite kind of place because of all like the child labour and all those women in those factories abroad. It's not good working standards, so I don't really want to support it. I know they do really good cheapy stuff though, and it's fab. I know. I'm stopping myself. So my mascara, I just hold my mirror here so you can see. I tend to go in underneath the lashes, and then I give a little wiggle and then I pull them up. I used to have individual lashes and I absolutely loved them, but I'm giving myself a bit of a break. I think I'll have them if I have a special occasion or anything again. I've had a couple of lash lifts and I really like them for the first few weeks, but then I find my lashes go a bit funky after, they go a bit skew-if. So right in at the root, lift it up, wiggle, and then pull up. And then the lowers, basically the opposite. So in at the root but from the top. Oh, I've got a nice clump there. It's okay, it's gone. Work your way in. I always like to put mascara on the lower lashes. I don't know why people would not put it on there. In fact, I think my lower lashes are longer than my upper. Strange. But yeah, don't forget your lashes. You can do 2 coats if you wanted to. So weird doing your makeup on camera. So I'm just going to have a little check now because I've been doing it on a camera which is quite far away. Just going to make sure that everything's blended again. So underneath, we're good. Look really pale on here. Never mind, you get my drift of what I do. So I'm going to use a little bit of that eyebrow powder. I'm due a top up on my eyebrows, just in this area because I've gone a bit thicker. So I'm just going to add a teeny little smidge there. on there so that it's the same colour. Again, that's all I use on my brows, just a little bit of powder. They're tattooed on, so my life is made a lot easier, which is always good. Okay, on to lips. I tend to get really dry lips, really chapped lips. I can go outside for about 3 minutes and they can become really, really chapped. So I had this as a present, which is really nice for Christmas. Natural lip balm. It's coconut and argan oil. So I put a slick of that on. And sometimes that's all I'll wear. I've had my lips tattooed as well, so they're kind of done for me. But if I feel like I want a bit more, I do look pale. I just go in with like a little lip tint. Something like that, nothing too crazy. I used to wear all the dark colours. I used to wear like purple, really, really dark, really, really bright pinks, oranges. I don't know, I just tend to like more neutral these days. Give my hair a brush, give them a poof. I might just put a little bit more blusher on because I do look very pale on here. And that's it. Bit natural, bit of something, makes me not look so dead. Done. Thanks guys, bye.